Okay, now with Dark Knight Rises about to bat-grapple its way into a cinema near you, we thought it was a good idea to have a look at one of the newest takes on Batman that's come out recently, which is Batman Earth 1 from creator Jeff Johns. Now this is being billed as Batman the Dark Knight for a new generation, which especially with, you know, Chris Nolan's work and everything, that's quite a big call, isn't it?
It is a very large call.
Yeah.
Now, Johns, of course, is no stranger to the old reboot. We've seen his work with Superman, Earth 1, but also with Flashpoint.
Yeah, and the Batman in Flashpoint was such a vastly different character.
Yeah.
I was convinced we were going to have a real shake-up in this one.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I was very excited about it.
Yeah.
But we didn't really,
No,
did we?
it wasn't that different.
Yeah.
No.
This is a perfect example of do not judge a book by its cover. From the cover art and the hype on the back of this book, you kind of expect Batman to be completely different. You know, guns are blazing, or son of a mob boss that gets murdered, or something.
That's the kind of feel you get from the cover, isn't it? But the fact is, the changes are largely peripheral. I mean, for the most part, it's really just tweaks rather than overall changes.
Look, now don't get me wrong, I did actually enjoy reading this book, but I just feel like it didn't deliver on all the promises it made.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I liked it too, is the thing. But mostly for the tweaks to the supporting characters.
Yes.
I mean, the fact is, this is a Batman story. Albeit a Batman story where Batman is a lot less cool than he normally is.
Yeah, he's kind of a tool in this.
I never thought I would ever hear you say that about Batman.
I never thought I would have to say that about Batman, but this is the joy of reboots. This is not my Batman.
And yet you did say you enjoyed reading it.
Yeah, no, I did, but mainly I think for the supporting cast, like we said.
Yeah.
As a Batman story, it is actually probably one of the weaker stories that I've read,
Yeah.
but I really liked how they've created these new origin stories for Alfred and Harvey Bullock as well.
Yeah, gotta say, hardcore shotgun-toting Alfred, pretty cool.
It's
pretty cool. I
pretty
like that.
awesome,
And
yeah.
also Harvey Bullock, very much. I mean, his journey through this was one of my favourite things about this book.
I actually think Harvey Bullock's story was my favourite part of the book.
Yeah.
The wonderful thing is he is our inroad into this new version of Gotham.
True.
We see the city and we see his reaction to it and how in fact Gotham changes him throughout this book, which I think is a really wonderful progression. And it's been beautifully done by Gary Frank with the face work on this. I think Bullock's facial work and actually everybody's was really, really good.
Okay, but you've got to admit, other than that, the artwork was fairly functional. I mean, there were a few nice detailed panels, but there were a lot of just blank backgrounds. And sure, those might draw attention to the faces, but it can also come across as lazy. I mean, it's kind of a catch-22 there.
Yeah, I can see what you mean, but I mean, for me, in the fight scenes, there was a lot of nice dynamic movement. I think the muscle structure on each character was done really well. And again, it's the faces. You know what I'm like with the faces of characters.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool.
Overall, I'd seem better.
Shush. Anyway, I am going to give this one a buy. Like I said, I did enjoy reading it, but don't go into reading this thinking you are going to get a rebooted Batman, because you're not. You're just going to get a Batman story. Read it for the characters, read it for Alfred, and read it for Harvey Bullock, and the artwork is good to look at. There are some beautiful panels in there, so I am going to give this one a buy.
Look, to start with, when I finished reading this one, I was actually thinking I was going to give it a buy.
Yep.
But then I stopped and went, wait, what am I actually enjoying about this? What do I actually like about it? And the factors that I liked, none of them were to do with Batman. And this is supposed to be a Batman story.
True.
I mean, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's, you know, Batman Earth 1. And I mean, if it's not enough of a reboot for fans to enjoy it as a novelty, and if you just want to see a Batman who's a bit untrained and raw, we've already got Frank Miller's Year 1. So
which is superior.
I question the necessity for this book.
Fair enough.
Really, that's the problem.
Yep.
I mean, I'm borderline on this, whether to go borrow or
Make a
bury.
decision.
I'm going to go borrow because of the supporting cast.
Okay, good.
They were still enjoyable enough to make this worth reading. But if you're a hardcore fan, you're probably going to find this a bit pointless. So maybe steer clear.
I am a hardcore fan and I hated it.
Oh.
The director.
That's this director.
It felt like it was written by a hack writer who got rejected in 1985 trying to reboot Batman.
There you have it.
There is absolutely no point whatsoever to this entire comic book.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Hardcore fan.
Hardcore fan, not gonna like it.
Hated it. So that's the thing. You know, if you're a hardcore fan, maybe.
I'm a hardcore fan.
Well, you guys should fight it out.